Welcome, everyone, to the Meaningful Hearts podcast, where we discuss the everyday questions that make us or break us if we let them. With your hosts, Drew and Daniella. Take our hands and let's walk this journey together.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Meaningful Hearts podcast. Today, I am riding solo dolo. Last episode, Drew was solo. And we thought it would be a good idea for me to do an episode as a continuation of what he talked about. Now, Drew talked about what's in his fridge. And it was one of those episodes that was certainly unique. I don't think it's something that people often talk about, but I think it's important to talk about what's in your fridge. And I even want to take it a little bit further. But first, let's just start off with what's in my fridge. I have quite a bit of things in my fridge. I know Drew said that he has sauerkraut in his. I also have sauerkraut in mine. Now, I don't have sauerkraut every day, but I alternate between sauerkraut and celery juice, which is also really good for your gut and your immune system and your digestive system. I have plenty of lemons because I love lemon water in the morning. And then I have fruits, vegetables. You know, I know Drew was talking about he's more of a day-to-day meal kind of person. I'm more of I'm going to make my meals in the morning before I go to work kind of person. And so I meal prep. And so I have a good variety of things. And I think, like I said, I think it's important to have a conversation and reflect on what your fridge says about you. Interestingly enough, for Drew, his fridge, and he said this in the episode, and I'll say it in this one, I kind of poke fun at him sometimes because his fridge is pretty much empty. He's got a few things in there, lots of sauces, some veggies, definitely sauerkraut, eggs. So pretty simple. And sometimes the things that are in our fridge are a good reflection of who we are. And sometimes not so much. Because if you take Drew, for example, what's in his fridge, I would say that he probably eats out a lot. Can't English today. It probably says that he eats out a lot or maybe doesn't eat healthy. But I don't necessarily think that's the case. So it can go either way. But either way, it's a good reflection and good questions to think about. Now, I did say that I wanted to take it a little bit further and encourage you all to not only think about what's in your fridge and what it might say about you, but what's in your home. And what does your home say about you? What does your room say about you? I think these are important questions. My room is a very sacred place to me. I actually just rearranged it again today. I like change from time to time. And the last rearrangement that I had made wasn't the most practical. It was aesthetically pleasing, but for the room space, it wasn't necessarily optimal. But this is what I want you guys to think about. What are some of the things in your home? What do you have in your room? And what does it say about you? Does it say that you are organized? Does it say that you are unorganized? Does it say that you're messy? These are the type of things to reflect on. I know, for example, one of my favorite things that I have in my room is this cork board. And on it, I have my calendar. I have some cards that Drew gave me, some drawings. But then I also have little post-it notes with motivational or I guess encouraging things. Like one of the notes that I have says, stop doubting yourself. If you can speak with conviction, you can achieve anything. And I think that that's pretty powerful. And it's a reminder to myself that I can do this, whatever that this looks like. I also, in the past few months, I started a daily wins jar. Now I don't do them every day, but when I do, I just feel like I have different colors. I've got Legos in my room. Of course, my collection of books, stuffed animals, which I really love. And then our apartment is very Colombian. We have Colombian artifacts on our walls. I don't know how you say them in English, but in Spanish, they're called fincas. I guess farmhouses. They're pretty big. Pretty big in Colombia as far as like the replicas. And we have stuff up on the wall. We have pictures of family. But I think when I look and reflect on what my apartment says about me, it says that it's a shared space, 50-50. Because there are things that I did for the apartment. There are things that my mom did for the apartment. She did most of the Colombian decor, and I did a lot of the furniture and paint. I recently painted my apartment. It's a nice color. It's a feather gray. So these are some of the things. I know Drew's episode was shorter than our usual episodes, and I think this one is a good short one too. I also have bamboo. I'm actually looking at the bamboo behind me right now. I love bamboo because it can grow anywhere. We live on a first floor, so unfortunately we don't get a lot of light in, so plants don't last very long. But bamboo is one of those things. It grows really anywhere. It just needs some water, maybe minor light. But like I said, it's important to reflect on what your space is, your fridge, your room, your home, what those things say about you. Are they accurate too? Because like Drew, it might give the impression that he's unhealthy, but he's really not. So I encourage you all to reflect on these questions and maybe ask a friend. I know Drew said that too, actually. Maybe ask a friend, what does my space say about me? What would you think if you didn't necessarily know me? Or better yet, it might be fun to describe what the inside of your fridge or your room looks like without actually giving it away. One of those like food for thought. It might be a really good conversation. It might be funny. But in the area of creating a more meaningful life, sometimes it is about deep self-reflecting moments and coping skills and habits and challenging ourselves and really holding ourselves accountable for deep things. But sometimes creating a meaningful life also involves little things like your spaces and what that might mean to you. So I think I can speak for Drew when I say we encourage you all to have some fun, answer these questions, and we'll catch you on the next one.